Okay, great. First, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Our presentation today is to discuss an interesting topic that floats around on the internet quite a bit in regards to whether or not there's an end to IT in sight. Does the IT organization have a limited useful lifespan within the enterprise organization? So, welcome aboard. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is David Jodo, and I'm the Chief Innovation Officer for CafeX Labs. We're a research facility located in Cambridge, Massachusetts, part of the Cambridge Innovation Center, and we do sponsored research for Fortune 500 companies trying to tackle big problems and helping them transform themselves into organizations for the future. So first, the big question is the age of IT coming to an end, right? So, the big question is with everything that's going on in the industry and through this period of austerity that we're going through, boards of directors are very wary of the investments that they have to make to be able to support the ongoing operations of their IT groups. With the high costs associated to the projects that they take on, the high risk of failure, the expected needs that are unmet, have developed a strong level of distrust for IT organizations, and it's starting to permeate throughout. This actually creates a situation where the CIOs are very much under fire. We do business with the top 10 of the top 10 banks within Wall Street, and we see this every day with the pressures that the CIOs are facing every day when they're dealing with trying to meet the needs of the organization and trying to actually remain as strategic entities for their organization, helping them grow their business. But what ends up happening is that with service levels not being met, IT organizations become gridlocked, right? Because they're unable to keep pace with the change of technology that's occurring within the industry. The rapid rollout of new technology, new applications very often comes at a pace that they're not capable of dealing with. I'd like to tell a little anecdotal story at this point about one of our customers who we were sitting with, and they were expressing the fact that they were trying to implement a change to their chart of accounts. And because their accounting systems had sprang up over time, there were 10 different geographic implementations of the accounting solution. And just to make one change to the chart of accounts actually took them a year's time in order to implement in a way that actually permeated across the entire organization. And you start to think about, such a minor change taking so much time, and then you start to imagine how that affects the organization's ability to deliver value to the business units that they serve. So as a result, they're facing all these pressures of having to deal with the demands of the business units under the period of austerity we're going through, creating situations where IT budgets are shrinking and they have to do more with less resources. So one of the things that I like to compare is the fact that IT was a very strong and strategic portion of an enterprise organization at one period of time, right? So a lot of that was driven by the fact that the systems that they used, they considered as key differentiators to the way that they actually did business in their competitive environment. So if they could, for instance, on a trading system, shave a fraction of a second off of a trade, they could actually have a leg up on their competition, allowing them to be more nimble and save money for the people that they were trading on the behalf of, or make money on that, for that matter. So from that standpoint, these IT systems are very specific to a business use, whether it be for trading or risk management or financial analysts dealing with high net worth clients. But what ends up happening is these applications are high risk, high value type applications, right? So in other words, they're ideas that are formed through innovation that get developed into proprietary IP that then get deployed in the hopes that they're going to create a leverage differentiator. And when they do, that leverage differentiator is significant to the enterprise organization. But when those competitive differentiators are put in place, they also have a limited lifespan. So as a result, there's eventual point where that differentiation is caught up with by their competitors. And as a result, now at that point, they have these expensive systems they have to continue to maintain. These systems also, because of the uniqueness, required very specialized skill sets. And this helped to reinforce the strategic value of the IT organization in delivering these solutions in support of the business units. So as a result, when IT was strategic, these proprietary systems were considered a strong asset within the organization. Well, fast forward to today, and the reality of today's technology is the fact that many of the applications that enterprise organizations use are more infrastructure based. They've become commodity products. I mean, seriously, if you really compare Oracle versus IBM on an ERP basis, you'll see that those types of applications have really balanced out and have become very mature. And other than maybe some fine nuances in regards to how they compete against each other, a bulk of what they do is actually very commodity oriented. They do provide an incremental value to the organization. So as a result, these investments are still important, but because of the commodity nature and the fact that they're competing so heavily within the marketplace, the price for these applications have significantly dropped. And you see it by the fact that there's new competition in the forms of Salesforce.com, Zoho.com, those types of over-the-top services that are providing more point solutions to the end user consumer environment. What this means is enterprise IT organizations are beginning to realize that it's cheaper to rent that software or that service than it is to own it. They become easier to replace than to fix. So as a result, the IT organizations themselves are becoming more the installers and the replacers versus the strategic value add of having specific domain knowledge to satisfy a particular business problem. And this helps to weaken their position within the organization. And as a result, the end user self-support model also takes a lot of the burden of support from the IT organization off their shoulders. So no longer the break-fix operation, the support operation, they are more the matter of they provide the plumbing and the infrastructure, the employees self-service their own needs, and they're using these service-based applications that can be just as easily consumed out of the cloud as they can if they were premise-based. So this actually brings to expose what the drivers of IT behavior are, right? So if you think about it, with all of these types of transitions that are occurring and the fact that IT is starting to undergo the pressure or the challenge of trying to remain relevant within an enterprise organization, they're driven by the fear of the unknown, right? So, concepts of bringing, end user devices into the community, or just new models of laptops that they haven't tested or certified before. They've become more reliant upon their vendors to provide more of that value-added service of taking on the risk of implementation versus the IT organization taking on the risks by themselves. The rapid introduction of new technology drives their decisions as well. Very often they look to try and achieve low-hanging fruit to try and actually show that they're making incremental improvements in their environment. But if you think about it, a lot of the infrastructure that IT organizations have delivered in the past is really what the organizations need. And other than enhancements that include point solutions to take on new avenues of technology like social enterprise or the contact center enhancements to reach out to the social network, those types of solutions really are fulfilled in the core applications and then just need extensions out to those new environments. Excuse me. And then again, one of the things that we hear every day from the CIOs that we deal with every day is that one of the reasons why they're looking to outsource a lot of their operations is because it's so hard for them to find skilled talent to be able to run the operations internally. So as a result, they look to outsource a lot of it to the people who wrote the applications and the systems to be able to support their ongoing operations. So vague initiatives, over-the-top workforce, all these types of environments really go to play to drive the behavior of IT. But most importantly, what drives IT behavior are memes. Now, what's a meme? You might ask what a meme is. So, what is a meme? A meme is a unit of cultural information representing an idea that gets transferred from one individual to another and is subject to mutation, interpretation, crossover, and adaptation. And this comes from the Urban Dictionary, but there are memes all around us. I mean, in the age of online media and internet society, we find that there's tons of memes. So I just wanted to bring up and show you an example of a meme. So how does a meme start? This is a cute little cat here. I mean, I'm sure we all have heard of lol's cats. But, I can has cheeseburger. What makes them cute is the fact that, they're cats because they're cute and they can't spell. So it makes it funny. So as a concept, this sprang forth an idea that actually started to mutate, and people started to interpret it in their own ways. And as an example of that, how it manifests itself is through modern day memes, where they've applied to various ideas and concepts that occur all over the place. And here's an IT manifestation of a lolcat meme. But what are IT memes, right? So the current technology memes that are out there that are driving IT today are bring your own device, right? Mobilization of technology, users bringing in their own PCs and their own laptops. And what's driving that behavior? What's driving that behavior is the fact that users are getting frustrated with the fact that the default answer by IT organizations is no. So in order for them to actually get their job done, they revert to their own technology because they are more technology savvy. And they're using applications in the cloud. They're engaging in social business. And they are the mobile, distributed, and diverse workforce, as I call the over-the-top workforce. So what are myths about IT? The myths about IT are the contribution of IT is becoming ever more relevant, but in a different way. Well, that's a myth, right? And the reason why it's a myth is enterprise organizations still have need for IT organizations. IT organization is still very relevant to the enterprise operations. If they weren't there, then they can't do the continued investment and infrastructure support necessary to run their operations. They can't just hand it over to somebody and expect it to run in a safe and efficient fashion. And then second myth is the role of IT is transforming from a provider of solutions to a provider of infrastructure. Well, that is a myth only because at some point in time, IT has to be involved in developing and designing the solution for the enterprise. And then the third one is the micro application, basically the small applications or utility use applications that you can download off the app stores. The synthetic applications that are custom grown or custom developed by the business units within the enterprise. And technocrud, as I call it, which are basically little hackathon apps that end users develop for themselves in order to provide a utility function, are creating a significant fragmentation within enterprise systems. Well, it's a myth because if the IT organizations are providing the appropriate on-ramp for those applications, they don't need to be concerned about what those applications do, providing that they've got the appropriate security layers in place to support them. So how does IT survive a meme? Okay, first they need to understand that memes are created by people. Memes are a people-oriented thought and process passed down culturally from one person to the next. Memes are propagated by people. The more people who get exposed to a meme, the more that meme transforms and evolves into what its end manifestation is going to look like. And human capital is at the foundation of a business. So if memes are propagated by people and human capital is at the foundation of business, IT needs to transform and become people experts. They need to be able to understand what drives the decisions of the end users, and instead of fighting the meme, they need to participate in it. They need to engage the end users, find out which concepts are driving the way that they operate, get inside of their behavioral thought processes, and help them shape it, channel it, and empower it. Thank you.